lovely people, how are you doing? I hope you're doing beautiful wherever you are. Welcome back to my channel. If you're watching for the first time, my name is Shinaze, and on this channel I discuss on how to enhance lifestyle. I also discuss on gender residency information and I give counseling. But today we'll be looking at how to fill your child's emotional cup. Before we go into that detail, I want to say a very big thank you to my returning subscribers. Thank you for always making our time to watch my videos, and your comments in the comment section, they are so encouraging. If you're watching for the first time, you've not subscribed, please take our time to hit the subscribe button down as you're watching this video and be part of what I do. Also turn the bell button on so you'll be aware whenever I post a new video. Let's go on to what we have for today. When I talk about filling your child's emotional cup, I refer to giving your child affection, giving your child love, protecting this child and making the child feel secure, and most of all, giving that child the attention that he or her require. All right, then, now that we've looked at what we mean by filling a child's cup, let's look at some certain ways children deal with having an empty cup. The first is that some try to steal from others to fill their cup. Remember that when we talk about filling the cup, we mean giving them attention, giving them affection, security, and love. So when we talk about emptiness, we talk about when this child doesn't have this affection, when your child doesn't have love, doesn't feel secured, and doesn't get the required attention that he or her require from you. The child may try to get this attention from others. The next way they can show that they have an empty cup is to try to misbehave, do some certain things to get your attention, talking to you in the way they can to show that they need their cup to be refilled. Don't forget that by cup we mean affection, we mean love, we mean the attention that they require, and making them feel secure so they can do some certain things to get your attention, showing that they require love, showing that they need your attention, they need you to be there with them, have some time with them. Next step, that they cannot compose themselves. They are no longer the way they used to be. You see some changes in their character, see some changes in their behavior. This indicates that this child is lacking something that he or she normally gets from you that you are no longer giving. Another way to indicate that the cup is getting empty is that they bounce off, they get nervous, they show some kind of anger in their little way, indicating that they require some attention, they require some love from you as a parent, a guardian, or a teacher. Another way children can deal with this emptiness is that they begin to compete and fight with other children who you tend to give your attention more, to be able to draw your attention also to themselves. These are certain ways that children in their little way indicate that they need love, they indicate that they need attention, they indicate that they need care, and they need to feel secured with you or around you. Let's look at some things that can fill a child's emotional cup. Some attributes, some characters, some things you can do as a parent, as a guardian, as a teacher to fill your child's emotional cup. Number one thing is that you can make out time. Having a one-on-one time with your child is a sure thing to create this bond, to create this closeness, and to have this child emotional life build up. All right, when you do not spend time with your children the way you should, these children do not get to know you better. You also do not get to know these children better. There are certain things that you are able to teach them, you are able to notice and to correct. They also notice this is about you. They learn from you by seeing what you do. These are all things that can come up when you spend time one-on-one with these children. Take out some time. It could be on weekends when you are busy, and ensure that you spend time with these children. The next thing that can fill a child's emotional cup is friendship. In spending time with them, you are creating this bond of relationship and friendship with them, or also when they make friends with others. These are ways to build their emotional cup to help them feel emotionally secure. Another thing that can fill their emotional cup is play. When you spend some time with them, you are creating this bond, relationship, friendship with them. You are also making that time to play with them in this time that you're spending. These are all things that come together to ensure that the children or your child emotional life are being built up the right way. Another set of things that can fuel a child's emotional cup is love. Show this child some love. All right, whenever they do some things, they could do them right, they could do them wrong. They are children, they are still learning according to their level. Show some love, show some care. Do not be the one always pointing out to them what others do better than they are, comparing them with others, making them feel bad, making them feel they have issues. When you begin to compare your child with other children, telling them all the time that they do not do things better, they always make mistakes. Look at what others are doing. Are they not in the same class or the same level or age with them? You are breaking this child emotion down. You're helping this child grow into a level where the child begins to have low self-esteem. You must always show love to your children. You must always show care. You must show affection no matter the condition. Always be there. Do not always express sadness. Express some certain affection before them. Anger, grief, bitterness. Let these things be things that you handle yourself in your private life time as an adult. Another thing that can help a child's emotional cup get filled is when they do the things they want, when they want to do them, and how they want to do them. It doesn't mean that you let this child do the wrong things. It doesn't mean that you always let this child decide, all right, what they want to do, have their way all the time. But there are certain things that children do that they are meant to do. Example, playing when they want to play. All right, there are times when they are supposed to play. There are times when they are supposed to read their books or do other certain things. When it's time to play, let them play. Let them feel free. If you think they are disturbing in the house or the environment, they can go to playgrounds, go out where playing is allowed. They can. This is also a way for them to be active, helping the body release some of the energies that they need to release, burning some of the calories that they've gotten from a lot of sugary food that they're eating. Do not hold them bound. Do not be the one that's raising children bound in the house. When the children come out, they cannot be able to socialize. I have a video on how to help your children socialize. If you keep the children down, don't allow the children to go out with others, to express themselves, to feel free with their peers, and to be the best they can, they grow out and they become timid youths. They become timid adults. Right? Let them do the things they should when they should, and see them grow into successful adults. We've looked at some things that can fill a child's emotional cup. Now let's look at things that can empty this cup. First thing that can empty a child's emotional cup is stress and strain. You'll be wondering, does a child have stress? Yes. When this child begins to experience certain conditions or circumstances that he or she cannot handle, and the child is not getting the exact attention that he or she requires from you to help harness or manage this situation, to help encourage, doesn't get a one-on-one time spending with you, so the child can be able to freely open up to you and let you know the difficult that the child is passing. It could be in school, maybe there's something the child is finding difficult. The child needs you to know what is happening. Maybe the environment doesn't suit the child. These are all ways this child goes into stress according to his or her own level. You should let the children always have some time with them to find out things that are happening in their lives. I have a video where I mentioned that there should be a family time when the whole thing concerning technology, concerning television, radio, the whole gadget are turned down. It is a one-on-one time with the family. Everyone talks about how the day went, how the week went, things are sorted out. These are times where things are being made the way they should be. Things are corrected, not all the time distractions from all the gadgets that are around the house. The next thing that can empty a child's emotional cup is when this child is being rejected by the peer groups. Children, as a level, they have friends in school, they have people who they socialize when they leave the house. Okay, when these people begin to see that they do not measure up to the standard that they need to belong to their group, the children feel rejected. These children feel that they do not belong to the society or the group where they find themselves. They begin to think that there's something wrong with them. They can develop low self-esteem. This is also why we say you must spend time with your children, encourage them, letting them know that they are good the way they are. They just need to do more, build themselves up. When a child builds his or herself up, becomes a better part of his or herself, the child attracts good friends. You don't necessarily need to make you friends. When you are good, have you not seen children who are the best they can, and their peers, children, other children want to come around them, other children want to be their friends, other children want to associate with them. So when they are the best in the way they can, there's something about every one of us that makes us unique. When they develop this attribute, they necessarily do not need to make friends. Friends come to them. But when they are not good at anything, you have not found out that there's something about this child that others mock or talk low to him or her about to help correct that situation. This child feels rejected in this group and begins to have stress and begins to have strain. You must make her time every time you can to spend quality time with your children to find out more about them and to help them grow into healthy adults. Another thing that can empty a child's emotional cup is loneliness and isolation. When a child feels lonely, when a child feels isolated, whether it's in the house, whether it's in the school, in the environment where the child finds himself in the society, right, this child begins to feel emotionally down. This child doesn't grow into healthy adults. Now, when we talk about healthy adults, we talk about emotionally healthy adults. There are people who look healthy, they are physically healthy, but emotionally they are not healthy. And when you have a little thing to do with them, if something goes wrong, you see this reaction, you can understand what I'm talking about. So you must help these children at the level where they are to grow into healthy emotional adults or emotional healthy adults. Do not let your children feel lonely. Do not let them feel isolated. Do not let them feel that they are left out in society. They do not belong to any group. Instead of feeling lonely, you can register them in certain classes where they can learn certain skills or things concerning their hobby. Let their time be occupied with doing things they love to do so they don't feel left out. So that even when they have times they feel lonely, they can use those things they've learned about themselves, their hobbies, to keep themselves company. The next thing that can empty a child's emotional cup is when you yell at this child, when you punish this child. You must know that children are bound to make mistakes. This is why they are called children. They make, even as an adult, we make mistakes. So when they make certain mistakes that make you think they are not thinking straight, they are thinking straight according to their level, you must be always able to show some care. Take out some time. If you cannot handle it, take some time, leave the environment, then come back later to handle the situation. Do not yell at these children. Do not punish these children. Okay, this makes the child feel that he or she is not loved. It doesn't matter what the child has done, whether it's wrong. The best way to teach a child is to tell the child what is right from what the child has done wrong. When you keep saying you did this thing wrong, this is not how to do this thing, the child is wondering, how should I do this thing? What is the right way to do this thing? You must say, this is what you did is not wrong, then this is the right way to do it. You cannot continue saying, this is not good, what have you done? You're always doing this right. The child will make this mistake over and over again. You must correct the wrong the child has done, so that next time the child wants to make that same mistake, the child remembers the correction you gave the last time and does the right thing. All right, do not hear, do not punish, teach and correct, show love, show affection. It doesn't necessarily mean that when the children do some messy things knowingly that you do not correct the right way. Another thing that can empty a child's emotional cup is when this child fails. The failure could be in school, that's academically. All right, so when things like this happen, teach the child that the child was not good today, but the child has an opportunity to learn to do better the next time opportunity comes in. You spend some time, help the children learn these things, learn how to do these things the right way, all right, so that they do not feel emotionally down. Another thing that can make children's emotional cup empty is fatigue. When they overdo things, there's always a better way to balance children's daily lives. There should be a time for playing, there should be a time for study, there should be a time to rest. If these things are not well organized and managed, these children go into fatigue, doing one particular thing, and they get bored, they become emotionally down, they are not happy, their life are not balanced. You must help, you must come in as an adult to help manage their lives and help them grow into healthy adult. Now, the last thing that can empty a child's emotional cup is when this child is forced to do what he or she doesn't want to do. Of course, there are things the child should do, but those things are supposed to be done willingly. The child should learn to love to do what he or she is supposed to do. This is the best way to help this child develop hobbies, develop skills, talents. When you see this child doing what he or she loves to do, help this child develop this thing more, knowing fully well that it could be his or her talent. But when this child is forced to do what he or she doesn't want to do, this child's emotional cup can be emptied. The child feels that he is not loved. The child feels that she is not loved. The child feels that she is not accepted. Even in the family, it happens. So help this child grow well not make this mistake of comparing your children with one another. Everyone is unique. When you compare your children with one another, you tell them that they're not doing well, or they look at how their siblings are doing, you are making this child feel emotionally empty. Everyone has abilities that he or she possesses that makes him or her unique. Instead of comparing, let him or her develop this habit, let him or her develop this hobby, let him or her develop this skill and be better. Let him or her use what he has to complement the other members of the family and make the family great, instead of talking the him or her down. This is all that we have concerning this topic. I hope you learned one or two things from this. Don't forget to share this video with your friends, your family, your loved ones, so they can benefit from this, especially teachers and guidance. If you've not subscribed for any reason, don't forget to subscribe by touching the red subscribe button as you're watching this video. It doesn't cost anything. Also support what I do and be part of the family. Turn the notification on so you'll be aware whenever I post a new video. If you have some comments, if you have some questions concerning this, please do well to leave these comments or questions in the comment section and I will get back to you. Until my next video, I'll see you then. Bye.